So take something like a yogurt cup. Any brand of yogurt cup will do. And then you're going to need to put some drain holes in it. And so what I would do is just invert it on a plate. And the easiest thing for me to do is going to be to take a skewer and to just stick some holes in it. So I would put, I don't know, several holes in it, evenly spaced. You end up with something that looks like this. Take your yogurt cup and then you want to scoop some soil into it. Or you can just go dig some soil out of your yard. All right, I would make sure nobody's upset with where you're stealing the soil from. So just dig some soil out of your yard and you want to put it in your yogurt cup. Don't fill the yogurt cup all the way up because we're going to want to put a cover on this, a plastic cover, to keep the soil moist. Alright, now you want to choose a seed. Well, there's lots of seeds around your house. You might have something like quinoa or dry beans. Crushed red pepper does have some whole seeds in it, so it's worth a try. You could grow a pepper plant. Fennel seed, chia seeds, popcorn. Even if you just got popcorn from a popcorn bag, you could rinse the buttery stuff off. You could have something like bird seed. These are sunflower seeds out of my bird seed. Or even a tomato. My general rule is you want to plant your seed about as deep as it is long. Right, so for instance, if I take a kidney bean, right, this kidney bean is about as big as my ring finger nail, a little bit bigger. So I want to plant that about as deep as my ring finger nail. I take the kidney bean, I stick it over here in the soil, and then I just push it in till my fingernail is covered. Boop! And I would recommend putting more than one seed, just because we like to hedge our bets a little bit. Boop! Right, cover over your seed, and then you want to get it nice and wet. So you can squirt it. Here's my little water squirter. Or you could just very gently water this from your sink. You just want to make sure it's good and uniformly wet. All right, if you are a gardener, you might be thinking, well, I could have wet it before I planted the seed. Yeah, I would go there too. Either way is fine though. I just wanted to make this as neat as possible. All right, you are going to want some sort of a plate underneath your seed so that when the water soaks through, it doesn't get all over the place. We're going to pause this video for a second. Okay, we've just planted our seed. We want to keep the soil moist, and that's going to encourage the seed to germinate. All right, so one of the best ways to do this is to take a piece of plastic wrap and just place it over your cup. The most important thing to think about when getting your seeds to germinate or to sprout or start is they need to be relatively warm. A lot of people will put these in a windowsill or something like that. That's a good choice. You could just put it in a warm place for the beginning. What I would do is just check it daily and mist it with your sprayer just to keep it moist. You're going to want to put something under it. You can leave the plate if you've got a windowsill that's wide enough. I don't right here in my kitchen, so I'm just going to model that using the lid of a coffee can. Alright, so here's my lid of my coffee can. I'm going to take my cute little planter and I'm going to stick it in the window, relatively warm. Alright, what you want to do is observe this over the next few weeks. And we're going to do a assignment where you record your data over the next few weeks and tell me what you see. Alright, here are some options. If you don't happen to have a skewer, here's the skewer that I use to poke the hole. Or you could instead take something like a knife. You just want to be careful. I'm going to try to do this with my left hand, and I am right-handed. Right, so you could take a knife and you could just very carefully put a hole in bottom of your yogurt container. Woo! That was not very carefully. But it still worked. So I would put several of those. This was ended up being a gash. Try to be a little bit more careful because you do need drainage. Again, you just need a small container. Something like a yogurt container would probably be good. I wouldn't use metal because metal can be rusty. Let me show you one of the other kinds of seeds you can plant because it's a little bit different. So if you take your soil, I'm going to wet this first this time because I'm going to be using a different kind of seed. Get it nice and wet. And I'm actually going to take a cherry tomato and squeeze it. See those seeds? Those are seeds. Or we just want to bury those. So I've buried my cherry tomato seeds, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the last one. I'll put a little plastic wrap on that and stick it in a window and see if we get a tomato plant out of it. So you should have something around your house that is a seed. I recommend that you look around, try at least 2, maybe 3 different things, because that's how science is done, right? You want to try a few different things when you're just exploring and see what's going to work. All right, good luck with your gardening.